Hey everybody, I'm at my favorite place, as you can tell, Harbor Freight, and I got a bucket of stuff today for less than $50. When you're prepping on a budget, what I tell people that ask me how I do things is that if I know I'm going to use something again and again and again, like for example, if I were buying a food dehydrator and I was going to use it every single day, I would get the best I could possibly afford, right? It just makes sense. You don't want to deal with sending things back. You don't want to deal with fixing things. You just want it to work when you need it, right? If you're making bug out bags, if you're making bug out bags for everybody in your family, if you're putting stuff in the car, if you are having, you want some extras to put out in your tool shed or whatever, I go to Harbor Freight just because it's so inexpensive to add stuff. Again, are they the best quality for everything? No. And so today I went in search of buckets because you can never have enough buckets. These buckets in this instance are not used for food prep necessarily, although I guess you could if you went and bought the lids for them. But for me, these are just storage buckets. These are quick, like you have to throw a bunch of stuff in the car, like you have to leave in a hurry. These are awesome for that. Just grab one of these buckets, fill it as full as you can, throw it in the back of the trunk, and you're done, right? But the problem lately with buckets has been that the bottoms, they're just making the bottoms so cheap that if they have any exposure to a lot of impact or putting them outside, this tends to crack, and it does these little spider cracks everywhere. Now, that may not be bad if you have dry stuff in there, if you have just a bunch of towels and some, tools or whatever. But if you're trying to use it for mixing fertilizer for the garden, like I do, or other stuff, it's very, very annoying to buy a bucket, as I did at Lowe's, and then a month later, it's got these spider cracks in it and all the water's leaking out, right? And then eventually, the pressure of the water will just pull the whole bottom out. You'll pick it up one day, and it will, the whole bottom will just fall out. So I have not found any buckets these days that meet my satisfaction. Nowhere. Not Lowe's, not Harbor Freight. So I figured, well, if I'm going to spend $7.99 for a bucket at Home Depot or Lowe's, then I might as well spend $4.98 for a crummy bucket at Harbor Freight. So I bought a couple of these big red buckets they have, and then I got some other stuff because when I'm in there I always look for what's on sale and what I could use. Now, this intimidating looking machete was only $6.99, right? Is it gonna last? Are you gonna want to keep this kind of machete if you have a large lot and you have to clear down big weeds and use a machete? Are you gonna want one for $6.99? No, probably not. Spend a little more money if you're going to use it a lot. But if you're just going to use it occasionally, maybe to, how can I put it? Maybe to meet a threat, or you want it in your car because you might have to hack down some, you might have to go off road and hack down some bushes, something like that. Yeah, fine. These are okay. Right? But they're not the best machetes. And if I were you and you really use a machete, get a Gurkha knife. Get a good one. Okay. So, here's another thing that you can't have too many of. I know you guys are sick of seeing these. If you're like me, you find these things during COVID especially, you found these things on the ground every single place you went. They're just throw them down like people throw down straws and they throw down the mass. But for an emergency kit, these are awesome because, what if you have a dust storm? What if you have stuff in the air, because of an emergency or disaster or smoke? These can help a little bit, maybe even a lot. And if you get yourself a good N95, like medical grade, that'll help a lot too. If you have allergies. Cheap. Other thing I picked up, again in this pile, is the black... these are 24-inch black heavy-duty cable ties. I'm telling you, there's 1,000,001 uses for cable ties. Whether it's tying up your kids that are being unruly, I'm just kidding, or, using them to tie things onto your backpack or bug-out bag, whatever. These are the heavy-duty ones. I like those. What else did I get? Oh, hey, you can get away with anything. Multiple studies have proven that people will obey someone with a reflective safety vest on. So I got myself a reflective safety vest. It was like $5.99. And this is just something that comes in handy in an emergency when you want to be seen, when you have to be walking by the side of the road. Maybe you ran out of gas and you have to go get gas. Well, people get hit all the time going to get gas or going to get help, on a road, especially a busy freeway. So have this vest in your car, and then, use it when you have to go walking. Or if you walk your dog even, they're very handy to have. Same with safety glasses. You can never have too many safety glasses. These should be in your house, in your bug out bag, and in your car because, again, we're not talking zombie apocalypse here, although these would be handy to keep the blood from the zombies. When you kill the zombies, it kind of splashes. But beyond that, these are also good for when you have sandstorms, when you have hurricanes and tornadoes and other things where there's debris in the air, where you have to cut down limbs, things like that. You can't have enough safety glasses. So this is beyond food preps, right, today. These are essential. I want to tell you, people forget about this stuff. Hearing protection. Disasters are always noisy, almost always. I've never heard of a quiet disaster, have you? In the beginning of a hurricane, maybe not so loud, but they get very loud. Also, your neighbor could be a disaster. They could stay up all night partying. If you have some of these earplugs, maybe you'll get a better night's sleep. Maybe you'll protect your hearing if you have to discharge a boom boom stick, a fire stick. If you have to discharge one of those, you should have a pair of earplugs if you have time to put them in. There's 50 of these. There's 25 pair, and they were only like $8, right around there. Let's see what else. Oh, hey. Tape, and more tape. If you don't have a lot of duct tape, electrical tape, crime scene tape on hand, you need to get some, right? You need to get some, especially duct tape. You can do so many things with duct tape. We've all seen the prom dresses made out of duct tape. I don't know that I would do that, but tape is essential. This is the self-bonding super tape. Okay, this is supposed to seal even when wet. This could be great if you had a pipe break in your house during an emergency. You're not going to get a plumber. So you're going to have to do some fixes yourself. This could be good. This could be great for the car if you have a hose that breaks and you need a temporary fix until you can get home to fix it. So this kind of tape, very, very useful. I buy a couple of these and put them in the I think they're around $5 a roll. Put them in the front of your car in the glove box and put some in the house. So I think that's it today. Empty, empty, empty. So again, Harbor Freight, are you going to do this? If you are a professional landscaper, are you going to use these tools? Probably not. But if you're just like me and you need to save money on prep, but you want to have something in case of emergency, this is a great place to go. And, cable ties are the same no matter where you buy them. So it doesn't really matter for that kind of stuff. Focus on their sales. They have them all the time. Make sure you get a Harbor Freight card so that you will be able to take advantage of everything. I'm Tammy. This is the Brown Thumb Prepper. Please like and subscribe to this, a video on this channel. It doesn't have to be this one, but everything you do helps me get higher in the algorithm and helps me bring more prep ideas to you. Take care.